This is the best gosh darn Taco Bell you'll never have to order. Hey Provident Preppers, I am Sam. Today, welcome to another Frugal Friendly Foods. We are going to be making Taco Bell style burritos. Now, have you gone to Taco Bell recently and maybe you've noticed that the tacos and the burritos seem to go down in size but up in price? If you've noticed that, you're not alone because it makes me very sad. But today I'm gonna help to hopefully take away some of that cost burden when it comes to your Taco Bell addiction, because I'm gonna show you how you can make something very, very similar to it at just a fraction of the price. I wanna make a quick note before we really get started on this track, and that is that you cannot have bean burritos without beans. And so today we are going to make some refried beans. One thing to note really quick is that you need to make sure that you wash and sort your beans, because when you first get your beans, whether it's out of a big bag, a little bag, generally there is going to be dirt and rocks and things of that nature. So it's really important for you to sort it and then to wash it at the very least. We like to soak ours. First thing that we're gonna do after soaking it, we're gonna go drain this off. So I'm gonna go over to the sink really quick and do that. All right, and so now we're back, simple as that. We've got these drained, we've got some water. And so we're just going to empty these into our Instant Pot. I'm gonna level this out just a little bit, and then we're gonna pour water in there to where there's about 2 inches of water over top of the beans. All right, the final thing that we're gonna do before we really get this sucker rolling is we're gonna add like a tablespoon of olive oil. That is just to kind of prevent it from frothing a little bit. So now we're gonna get this thing started. We're gonna set it on the bean setting. And this is an Instant Pot. Every pressure cooker is gonna be just a little bit different in the way things are cooked. But Instant Pot has become kind of bigger. So a lot of you might have that. But yeah, it's gonna be about 15 minutes. And then after that, you can manually take out the pressure, which, you can have that done in just a couple of minutes. Or you can let it naturally depressurize, which I think is what we're gonna do. And it takes 45 minutes to an hour for that to happen. But anyway, this is set, it's rolling, and we'll be back here to check on it later. All right, while those beans are cooking, let's whip up some sauce. Now, we had a couple of these packets lying around. I don't know if y'all like these as much as I do. I literally, every time I went to Taco Bell, would end up getting more. I really love their breakfast salsa packets that they have. I don't know if they still have them. I haven't been there in a little bit. But, you can put these on eggs. You can put them on your homemade burritos, tacos, whatever you want to do. I've even been known to put them just like straight up over rice, which was really good. Not like lathering the stuff over it, but anyway, we're going to show you how you can make your own red sauce. And if nothing else, we're gonna teach you how to make this so that you can perfect your own recipe of the red sauce. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we need to start preheating this. We're gonna put it at about medium heat. And then while it's preheating, we're gonna, at the same time, let 1/3 cup of water and an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce heat up together. That's gonna be the base of this recipe. All right, and just kind of stirring it up a little bit, and we're gonna start adding our other ingredients. So we have a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, which is a magical substance. We have 1.5 teaspoons of cumin. We have 1.5 teaspoons of onion flakes. Then we have 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. Which is gonna give it a little bit of that, almost like a bite. if that even makes sense. Now that we've got that mess going, stirred a little bit, we've got a couple more ingredients to plow through. We are going to add our garlic. This is 3 cloves. You also can use, here's some freeze-dried. And then there's options like garlic salt, of course, and garlic powder. One thing to note, we're about to put salt in there. If you use garlic salt, you're gonna wanna use a little bit less salt, of course. We're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Stir that up real quick. Next thing, we've got a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, which is gonna add that smoky chipotle flavor. Absolutely necessary. And then we have a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne. You also can adjust things like the paprika and the cayenne. You can adjust to your spice level. And then we are going to add finally some diced jalapenos. And then after that, we're gonna kind of let all the ingredients marry each other a little bit. And that's gonna take about 10 to 15 minutes. We're just kind of gonna let it simmer with the lid on. All right, so the sauce is simmering back here. And so we're gonna work on the beans. They're done cooking. And so we're just gonna take care of them real quick. We're gonna be doing refried beans. Not really refried beans, because if they were really refried beans, we'd be essentially throwing them into a pan with lard and then refrying them. We're not gonna do that. We don't have lard. It's also not that great for you. It does taste amazing. I can verify it tastes amazing, but this will taste just about the same. So we've dumped off the excess water to where there's it's about like the water is about the level of the beans, maybe a little bit less. We're gonna put in a heaping tablespoon of salt. And then we have, this is called an immersion blender. Growing up, we always just called it the rumor thing, right? But what we're gonna do is we're just kind of gonna blend up the beans. Some of you may be asking, well, Sam, how long do I blend this for? And that, my friend, is up to you. Up to how chunky or how smooth you like your beans. Personally, I like mine fairly smooth. One thing to note is that these beans do thicken as it cools off a little bit. They're still very hot, because of that, they're fairly runny. But as it cools down, they will thicken up a little bit. So if you feel like you maybe left a little bit too much water in there, don't worry about it too much, because it's just kind of gonna even out anyway. All right, and just like that, we have some burritos that are ready to be made. The standard bean burrito at Taco Bell ends up with beans and onions, cheese, and the red sauce. So what we've done, we've heated up some tortillas. We did use store-bought tortillas. You can make your own. And so we're just gonna dress up some burritos here. And another thing to note, very briefly, you don't have to heat up your tortilla, but it is very nice. You can do it just like on the stove. My favorite way to do it, and the way that we used here, is where you use a damp cloth, preferably like a bigger one, and then you put the tortillas inside of it. You heat it up for like 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how many tortillas you have, and they come out just so soft. But
I'm waiting as long as I can here.
Yeah, we do talk. Oh, I'm sorry. We do talk quite a bit about cheese. It's more of an accessory thing than anything, but it is really nice. And if you use it light enough, a little bit can go a long way. Still got to use some Cholula though, even with the red sauce. Gotta stay spicy. There we go. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm anticipating.
Oh, my tortilla. Oh, my tortilla died. All right. That's
Okay,
awkward, but...
now the real test.
All right.
The palate test. That's very good. Very good.
I'd have this over Taco Bell any day of the week. I don't have just the plain sauce, but the sauce is very close.
This sauce is excellent. Very, very good. And if it wasn't messy, it wouldn't be worth it.
All right. Some of you may be looking at this and you say, that looks amazing, but I can't have gluten. Well, do we have a solution for you? Boom. Corn tortillas. Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
Tostadas.
And you could do the corn shells.
Yeah, corn tortilla shells. Another option, you can just chop up some lettuce. I've had beans over lettuce more times than I'd like to admit, and it is actually very good. You can make a solid taco salad with it. Anyway, now for the question of the day. What is your favorite thing to order at Taco Bell? Comment down below. And thanks for being part of the solution.